So you join me today at Milton Keynes. I'm at the home of Volkswagen UK and I'm here to see this. This is the ID Buzz. This particular one is the people variant, so it's the people carrier, but doesn't it look fantastic? Let's go and take a look. So let's take a look inside the ID Buzz. So anyone that has seen inside any of the ID3 or ID4, this will be very familiar. You've got a central screen which gives you your speed and range, etc. And then in the middle you have another screen that will be all your sat nav and infotainment system. Now there's no talk at the minute of range, but it's interesting to see that this is currently showing 96% and 416 kilometers. So if that is accurate, that may well be an indication of how far it goes, but which is probably what, 200 miles in the real world. So that's interesting to see. But yeah, you've got full infotainment system, which looks really nice, and it's nice and responsive screen as well. And then below that you've got your air vents and then cup holders at the bottom there. It'd be interesting to see how well the white steering wheel fares once you've got your grubby mitts all over it, but at the minute it looks very, very swanky. What I do absolutely love is the almost body coloured trim that goes around the side on the door cards and also on the dash. That looks really, really nice. And I love the little Easter eggs that are dotted around, like the smiley face inside the door pull. Now we've not been able to drive it today, unfortunately, but I suspect it'll drive really nicely. When you sit inside, you've got a real nice driving position. It feels halfway between sort of a car and a van. You've got these extra bits of these extra windows in the side, which give you really good visibility. It's quite a long dash, quite a deep dash, which may take a bit of getting used to if you're coming from a car rather than a van, but as you can see, the real short overhang means that you know exactly where to place it on the road. You can see a nice bit of ambient lighting in the door cards. You've got ID printed inside the seats, and the seats are so comfy. They're redesigned. They are not the same as what you get in like a T6.1. They're very, very comfortable. You've got a little pull-out bit for underneath your knees, and yeah, this central bit is like a velour really. And then you've got a bit of leather on the outside, but it's really, really nice. You've got armrests on both sides. And then this one is fitted with a centre compartment. As with a lot of electric cars nowadays, there's no gear stick in the middle. You have a lever on the stalk at the side to put it into drive or reverse. You also have haptic feedback buttons on the, or not buttons as such, on the steering wheel as well to control the volume and cruise control, etc. Right, let's have a look inside the back. It's got an electric opening door on both sides and then a three-seater bench across the back. Plenty of leg room. And then you've got a couple of pockets. This one's got a pocket at the top here and also a pocket at the bottom as well. Yeah, plenty of space inside, and I really like obviously the continuation of that colour all the way through. Looks really, really smart when you've got the doors fully open in the back here. It's got a 60-40 split rear seat, so you can actually completely lower those seats as well. And you can see at the top there you've got extra points for putting the net that comes with it, so you can make this into a nice big van, which gives you tons of space. Obviously if it's a van you're after, there is also a cargo variant that has the seats up the front, then a bulkhead, but unfortunately we don't have one of those here to have a look at. And also to give you some flexibility, these seats do also slide. As you can see, they're forward, but you can move them back depending on how much space you want in the back. We'll open up the boot. Electric opening tailgate on this one. I suspect that'll be standard throughout. And you've got an absolutely enormous cargo space. It is really, really big. You've got big speakers in the back here. Just behind the speakers is a button where you can open up the tow bar, which pops out at the bottom there and just locks into place. You've got a big parcel shelf that comes over the back, but I suspect if you've got tinted windows, most people would remove that. But it gives you a bit of protection if you're worried about anything being seen. But look at the size of this space. It is massive. Now, the thing that I am most intrigued about is whether this space is wide enough to have a cupboard here and a kitchen and also a bed, a double bed. Who knows? But at the minute, I can't say it really looks like there is space to do that. I may be wrong. I wonder whether when it comes to California there'll be some sort of almost a smaller cupboard and a pull-out kitchen. I'm not sure, but at the minute I'm not convinced that it's quite wide enough. Not as wide as the T6.1 inside. Now, on the subject of producing a California, this one is the shorter wheelbase. There will be a longer wheelbase available which will give more space at the back. It's whether it's wide enough to be a camper. And you can see this one is painted in the awesome two-tone paint job. This van really, really works with two-tone. I love the fact that at the front you can see that divide really easily. So any colour that you put on the bottom is going to work really well with the split two-tone paint job. Now, the ID Buzz is charged from this port at the back here. It has CCS charging, 170 kilowatt charging available as well via DC, which means that you'll be able to charge from 5 to 80% in just half an hour, and that feeds a 77 kilowatt battery. Also, interestingly, bidirectional charging is available. Now, what bidirectional charging means is that you will actually be able to use the ID Buzz as a separate battery bank for your house. Now, you will need different charging equipment at home. You'll need a different wall box, etc. But essentially, you'll get a 77 kilowatt sized battery parked on your driveway. So what that means is if you have things like solar panels, you'll be able to charge through the day into this as a battery, and then subsequently use that at night when you need more power to power lights in your house, etc., to send that current back into your house and yeah, use cheap electricity throughout the night time as well. Now, I mentioned that the ID Buzz has a 77 kilowatt battery. This ID Buzz is rear motored, not rear engine, so not quite like a 911, but rear motored, and it's also rear wheel drive. It'd be interesting to see how that drives. It's also 204 PS as well, so around about 200 horsepower. It's going to be a real fun vehicle to drive, I think. The front of the ID Buzz flips down, and that gives you access to things like the washer fluid. But yeah, not much else really. It's we were just discussing, actually, saying maybe this could become a barbecue area if it folded further down, or maybe even an ironing board. Can you imagine that? That'd be interesting. I spoke about the lights earlier. LED lights come as standard, but there will also be LED matrix lights available, but they look really, really smart, don't they? There's various cameras around. You can see one on the front, which will help you with parking. This does actually come with park assist as well. Now, interestingly, the park assist has a memory function, which means that if you've got something like a tricky driveway, it will eventually learn that you have a tricky driveway and basically help you do that. So you'll be able to just press a button and the vehicle will drive off it with ease. So that'd be interesting to see. Now, speaking of technology, there's some clever bits in the door cards here. They're actually inductive chargers for your phone, so you'll be able to charge your phone by chucking it in there. And there's also things like Car 2X technology. Now, what Car 2X technology means is basically all cars that are fitted with Car 2X technology will be able to talk to each other, and they'll be able to give you information about hazards and warnings. So if a car has broke down at the side of the road, the car will automatically tell other Car 2X cars about that, and yeah, you'll be able to avoid that hazard, which is great for safety. Now the big question, what about pricing? Now unfortunately pricing hasn't been confirmed just yet by VW, but we're expecting the prices of the people carrier variant to start at around about £50,000 when they eventually hit the UK. And the cargo variant, which is just the van, will start around about 38,000. So it'll be interesting to see how that compares when it eventually arrives, but I don't think that's too bad actually for the technology that you've got in this vehicle. The order books should open around about June time, and they're expecting to see the first vehicles on UK roads in October. Now with everything that's going on in the world, that's subject to change, but hopefully we should see them on the UK roads by the end of the year. Well, there we have it. That is our first look at the actual production ready ID Buzz. What do you think? I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to see a California variant. It's going to be really, really cool to see. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and do you think it's a good enough true representation as the original T1? I think it is. I think it's a real good modern take on the T1. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out if you do subscribe. We mainly do videos all about camper vans and yeah, all sorts of travels as well in our California, and also we're doing a big build on the VW Crafter that we've bought, so stay tuned for all videos about that. Like I say, please do subscribe, it really helps us out, and we shall see you in the next video. Cheers.